So what are we saying? That Stuart Young was right? Because as I recall history,
certain criminal gangs, and I'll leave out the places where at this stage, but I can say throughout Trinidad and possibly Tobago, are likely to immediately increase their brazen acts of violence in reprisal shootings on a scale so extensive that it threatens persons and will endanger public safety.
And then Kamala came out and criticized it, and all the supporters came out and criticized. As a matter of fact, run the clip.
Bissassa condemned the recently declared state of emergency as a politically motivated stunt, accusing the government of neglecting long-term solutions. Leaders attributing the SOE to poor planning and public relations rather than genuine concern for citizens' safety.
6 months later.
There are a group of criminals in our society, some of them behind bars and some of them on the outside, form themselves into an amalgamated unit of an organized crime syndicate and intent on wreaking havoc on the good citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
So in other words, the exact same thing, different messengers, different choice of words, but it's the same thing. And then wholly on social media, if you see them doing doing mental gymnastics to try and justify why this SOE doesn't need a curfew, while at the same time slamming the last SOE for being a total failure, because in their words, not mine, an SOE without a curfew is a failed SOE because you need the curfew to curtail the movements of criminals at night. It must be mentally and physically taxing to be this level of hypocritical 365 days for the year. And then out of nowhere, random press release from WASA. Nobody asked for this, nobody's even contemplating this. WASA says service to continue during state of emergency. Well, okay. Thanks for that bit of information. I don't think anybody on hearing news over the SOE say, oh God, they're going to cut off water. I don't think so. Random, but thanks to the information. And then you have the conflicting information. Because earlier on in the day, we heard the police commissioner making this statement.
Of another. This has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with any particular threat to a politician.
So there was no particular threat to any politician. But then later on in the day, we heard from this drunk sounding guy who I found out was the Attorney General because it says so over his head. But he had this to say.
Well, I mean, the fact that I am here speaking to you this morning and that half of the building has not been destroyed by a rocket launcher should tell you that we have succeeded in disrupting a plan.
But this man said that there was no plan to target any politician. There's something about this country, eh? Listen to me. Comment. Don't take this country too seriously, yo. Go mad. Trinidad and Tobago is 90% lies. It's a scam. The whole point of being Trinidad and Tobago is to work just hard enough to acquire enough money that you have a reason, a meaningful reason to enter this location and then just travel the world. Once every 6 months, once every 8 months, and however long you can do it, go out there and travel the world. If you're trying to make sense of life in Trinidad and Tobago, you go mad. You start drinking punching. You start damaging your liver and your kidney and things from punching overdose. I know somebody right now on vacation in Iceland. Look at this setup here. The place is so safe that you are in a giant field, right? Look at it, a giant field, and you are sleeping in a giant bubble. A big dome. See-through dome. That's how safe the place is. Don't take Trinidad too seriously. Don't do it. The trap is, when you start to say, I want to build a house, I want to have a family, I want to settle in Trinidad, I don't go nowhere else, that's the trap. You'll go mad. Trust me, you'll go mad. So just sit down, make your money, fly out, come back, make your money. Just think of Trinidad and Tobago as a job. You're living on your work, right? So this entire country is your house for your job. You're just here to make money. So you can go out there and enjoy your life, and then come back here to make more money to go back out there and enjoy your life. Think of it like that. Your life will be a lot better. Or you can not listen to me and spend your days just looking for objectivity and truth and rationale and logical thinking people. You might go mad though, but you know.
A fair moment before.
We were left with no choice, faced with information, credible information, that persons involved in the administration of justice and others were to be assassinated given certain contingencies. We were left with no choice but to take the most dramatic action that is possible under the Constitution. We have done that. We make no apologies for it. We have a duty to all of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, whether they voted for us or not, to keep them safe and to protect against precisely that which took place in 1990. It will not happen on our watch. One more question.
Finally, from me, sir. In 2011, under the former People's Partnership government, there was a state of emergency where approximately 5,000 young men were arrested and detained under the SOE. Many of them were not charged eventually based on the fact that the police never brought any evidence to support their detentions for prolonged periods. And many of them would have benefited from handsome payouts from the Office of the Attorney General when they brought legal action. What assurance can you give now that a similar scenario would not play out?
Well, I was not the Attorney General at the time. I'm very stingy in terms of the payments which I am required to make or those which I might be required to make in the future. I have a high degree of confidence in the actions of the police service at this time. I believe that one learns from one's mistakes and that the mistakes of the past will not be repeated today.
Attorney General, sorry.
Last question.
Yeah, you said
Sorry, Akash, one quick question. The public usually, when an SOE is called, assume is a last resort to some extent by any government. What assurance, if any, you could give the public that the government do have control over the situation right now and that all is being done so to instill confidence in the government?
Well, I mean, the fact that I am here speaking to you this morning and that half of the building has not been destroyed by a rocket launcher should tell you that we have succeeded in disrupting a plan. We stand before you as representatives of people. We are being as open as is possible, given the fact that a lot of this is embargoed from release by, you protect individuals, human intelligence, as you have intercept intelligence, but you have human intelligence as well. But I can say with certainty that we're on top of things as of now.
AG, just one more thing now. Something you said to me earlier. You said the last SOE was called for nothing, inferring the president greenlighted an SOE based on nothing, as you said. Now, the same president approved this one, but I remember